Have you guys ever wondered what it would be like to have anime eyes in real life? I mean, it does sound quite intriguing, doesn't it? From abilities that let you bend people's will to powers that can literally see the future. These eyes completely change the game. But what if you had them in real life? How useful would they actually be in everyday situations, like school, work, or just chilling with friends? Today, we're ranking some of the most famous anime eyes based on how much they would actually help you outside of the anime world. Starting off at the bottom, we have Aizawa-sensei's Erasure. In the anime, this quirk is insanely overpowered, since it allows Aizawa to basically nullify any other quirk. This makes him one of the strongest heroes in the anime. But in our real world, it doesn't really give you much. We don't have people throwing fireballs or teleporting, so staring at someone would make you look like a creep. Sure, you could stretch it and say it might help against cheaters, scammers, or anyone trying to gain an unfair advantage. But even then, it feels weak compared to what other eyes can do. The other problem is, it only works if you're staring directly at someone, and if a bug gets in your eyes, you are cooked. So while Erasure is broken in a world full of abilities, in real life it would be pretty underwhelming, making it the least useful on this list. Moving on, we have the Scarlet Eyes, which are famously used by the character Kurapika in Hunter x Hunter. These eyes are all about pure raw power. They force your body to surpass their limits and give you short bursts of incredible strength, speed, and reflexes. I guess some of you dimwits still have a hard time understanding this. Well, imagine being able to surpass Chris Bumstead easily, run faster than Usain Bolt without any training, or maybe even defeat Khabib, which would still be difficult, I guess. However, there's a very major downside. This power puts an extreme strain on your body. If you push yourself too hard, it'll leave you completely exhausted and could even cause you serious injury. It's not an ability you could use constantly or carelessly without paying a heavy physical price for it. So, while the Scarlet Eyes could make you incredibly powerful in specific high-pressure situations, they're not very practical for normal daily life. You won't be able to impress your crush on a daily basis. Next comes Shinigami Eyes, which are both incredibly useful and terrifying at the same time. With them, you'd be able to see anyone's real name and even the exact time of their death. On the surface, this sounds like a life hack, as you could instantly know who's a bit sus, avoid bad people, and even notice when someone might be in danger. However, things aren't as simple. Imagine walking around and constantly seeing the countdown to when everyone around you is gonna die. This might even put some people into depression, because you'd be able to see when your parents, siblings, or friends will die. Plus, there's not much you can do about most of it. Knowing when someone will die doesn't mean you can stop it. So, while Shinigami Eyes would give you unique insight, the emotional burden makes them less practical compared to the powers above. After that, we have Emperor Eyes. The Emperor Eye enables its user to see another person's body with extreme detail, such as breathing, muscle movements, or muscle contractions, body tension, rhythm, sweat, etc., allowing the user to predict future movements. However, would they be any useful in real life? Well, having these Emperor Eyes would give you a huge advantage over others. You'd dominate in sports, easily dodge accidents, and always stay one step ahead in debates, fights, or competitions. It would almost feel like you're living a few seconds ahead of everyone else, which is both exciting and a little scary. The problem with this ability is that life could become very boring when nothing is able to surprise you. If you already know the ending of every game, the result of every sport, and how every conversation will go, those things might stop being fun. Even with this downside, the Emperor Eyes are still incredibly useful in practical ways, making them a very powerful ability to have in the real world. Next is the Byakugan. These eyes give you vision in a complete circle all around your body, with just one very small spot that you can't see. It also lets you see things that are very far away, by zooming in, almost like using a powerful telescope. You can even see through solid objects, such as walls or smoke. Additionally, it can sense energy flow and pick out the tiniest details or movements with perfect accuracy. Basically, it's like having the ability to see through walls, a zoom lens for long distances, and X-ray vision all combined into one power. You would be able to see what's happening in another room, follow a person's movements from miles away, and notice the smallest details that others would miss. Simple daily problems like losing your keys or your wallet would be solved in an instant, because you could just look through the couch to find them. Busy and crowded places wouldn't be stressful at all, because you would always know exactly where you need to go and what's around the next corner. In sports, you'd dominate without question, since no movement would ever escape your vision. The only drawback is privacy, as you'd see things you weren't supposed to, which could get uncomfortable fast. But compared to most other abilities, Byakugan is way more practical for daily life and would give you an advantage almost everywhere. Then we have Foresight, which is basically the ultimate safety net. Foresight granted the user the ability to accurately predict all of the target's future moves and actions for an entire hour. Foresight is activated by first touching a target, and then making eye contact with them. With this insane ability, you'd never trip, never get into an accident, and always avoid awkward or dangerous situations before they even happen. Exams would feel like spoilers since you'd already know what's coming, and in sports, you'd be MVP every single time. Even conversations would flow easier because you'd know how people will react before you speak. The only drawback is that life might start to feel repetitive, like rewatching a show where you already know every scene. Still, the safety and advantage of never being caught off guard makes foresight incredibly valuable in the real world. If foresight gives you a peek into the future, then Sharingan from Naruto takes things to another level. Characters like Sasuke and Kakashi show just how powerful it is. In real life, Sharingan would be insanely broken. You could instantly copy any skill just by watching it done, whether it's learning a sport, cooking a recipe, or even mastering an instrument. Imagine scrolling through YouTube tutorials and instantly becoming a pro at everything. On top of that, you would be able to see things in slow motion during intense moments, which would make you unbeatable in almost any physical competition. The only downside is the strain, since using Sharingan takes a lot of energy, and in the anime it even harms the user's eyes if overused. In real life, that might translate to constant fatigue, headaches, or even long-term health problems. Still, in terms of versatility and raw usefulness, Sharingan is completely god tier. Getting close to the top, we reach the Millennium Eyes from Yu-Gi-Oh! These mystical eyes let the user see directly into people's thoughts and secrets, which characters like Pegasus show off in the series. Imagine how useful that would be in everyday life. Since nobody could ever lie to you, you would always know who to trust, and you would instantly understand what people are really thinking. In business or negotiations, you would win every time. In social situations, you would never feel awkward because you would always know the right thing to say. But the dark side is very real, since knowing everyone's hidden thoughts could become overwhelming fast. Some things are better left unknown, and carrying that much information might feel like a heavy burden. Still, when it comes to dealing with people, making the right moves, and staying ahead in social or professional life, the Millennium Eyes would be nearly unstoppable. Now we're down to the big two. First is Geass from Code Geass, the power used by Lelouch. In the anime, his Geass lets him command anyone to do exactly what he says with just eye contact, which makes him almost unstoppable. In real life, that would be the ultimate cheat code. Need a raise from your boss? Done. Want someone to stop bothering you? Easy. It's like unlocking a broken persuasion skill tree from day one. The catch is that you can only use it once per person, so you have to pick your commands carefully. And honestly, forcing people against their will is straight up villain energy. Use it too much and you would become the person everyone low-key hates. Still, if you played it smart, you'd never lose an argument, never get scammed, and you might run the world before you finish college. It's terrifying, but also insanely tempting. Kind of like getting unlimited fast travel, but for life. And finally, at the very top, we have Six Eyes. If Geass is a cheat code over people, then Six Eyes is a cheat code over life itself. This ability makes your brain run on another level, processing every detail instantly, and giving you god-tier awareness. You'd ace exams without studying, pick up on lies like subtitles, and breeze through daily tasks because nothing would ever get past you. Driving, studying, conversations, everything would feel effortless because you'd always be 10 steps ahead. The only real drawback is that life might start to feel too easy, but honestly, most people wouldn't complain about that. Six Eyes doesn't mess with free will, doesn't carry heavy emotional baggage, and doesn't damage your body. It just makes you insanely sharp, making it the most useful pair of anime eyes you could ever have in real life. That's it, folks. Let me know if I've missed any eyes or if you want us to make a part 2 of this series. That's all for this one. Check out the cool video that's appearing on your screen now. Go ahead, click it.